Hello, good to join you again. Just like the last video, we've been looking at how the Old Testament prophets validate, verify, confirm what John was seeing in his vision. And as we're looking at the unfolding of events with the Battle of Armageddon in Revelation towards the end of the chapter, we're also realizing in our last video, Isaiah saw this. Now let's look at Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 14. I want to read some verses here and just talk about this great battle of the nations coming against Israel and how the Messiah will come then and destroy them. So Zechariah chapter 14, behold, a day is coming for the Lord when the spoils taken from you will be divided among you. The Bible talks about that kind of thing too, that the world has accumulated all of this wealth and position and land and all these things, but someday God will take the spoils from them and it will be the inheritance of the righteous. The Bible even talks about how the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. What's that talking about? It's talking about how, things like world banks and economies and people have gathered this wealth that's generational, lasting for thousands of years, and they hoard it and they keep it. And the day is coming where the Lord says he'll take the spoils when he defeats the nations, and he'll give those to the people, to the innocent, the righteous. And maybe that's what the Lord is talking about. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. So if you're meek in your disposition right now, yeah, people, and you're good-hearted, people will take advantage and do all these kind of things. But the Lord says ultimately the wicked can store up these things, but eventually the meek will inherit the earth. Well, Zechariah saw that. Zechariah 14:2, for I will gather all the nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city will be taken, the houses plundered, the women raped, and half of the city exiled. But the rest of the people will not be eliminated from the city. Then the Lord will go forth and fight against those nations as when he fights on the day of battle. So if you're thinking about this, that the kings of the earth have taken all the wealth of the world and it's scattered around the world, well, how strategic of God to align them and bring them to the nation of Israel and to Jerusalem. They'll try to destroy it, and horrible things are happening, even as graphic as mentioning the women are going to be raped. And this is heartbreaking, but we're going to find out that many people will be killed in Jerusalem. But what did it say? Half the city will be exiled, but the rest will not be eliminated from the city. Verse 3, then the Lord will go forth and fight against those nations as when he fights on a day of battle. On that day his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives, which is in front of Jerusalem on the east, and the Mount of Olives will be split in its middle from east to west, forming a very large valley. Half of the mountain will move towards the north and the other half toward the south, and you will flee by the valley of my mountains, for the valley of the mountains will reach to Azel. Yes, you will flee just as you fled from the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah. Then the Lord my God will come, and all the holy ones with him. So it's saying right there that when the nations gather, they'll actually attack Jerusalem. The main battlefield that's big enough to fit all the armies of the world will be the Battle of Armageddon in the valley of Jezreel, or the valley of Har-Mageddon, the mountain of Megiddo. That in that place then is where this battle is going to happen, and the blood will be so thick it would reach up to the bridle of a horse. And as we're looking at that passage right here, the Lord is saying that the Messiah, when he comes, it says he will come with the holy ones. That's you and me, he's the white horse rider. We're going to follow him on our white horses, but he'll set his feet on the Mount of Olives, which is to the east of Jerusalem, and the mount will split, the north from the south. And by that split, the inhabitants of Jerusalem will flee into the wilderness in order to be rescued. So this is really amazing. It's just a really neat reminder that all the prophets are talking about this one event, the culmination of all things, the great battle, but the Messiah, the white horse rider, with the white horse riders of the followers of Jesus Christ following him when God ultimately destroys the Antichrist, the false prophet, and Satan is bound for 1,000 years, and Jesus establishes his kingdom. It's so cool, and it's so time and time again verified by the Lord.